Good leaders are smart enough to know when they're exhausted. Good leaders are rested. And in today's world, it's often a badge of honor to drink 19 espressos, stay up into the middle of the night, pounding away at your keyboard, or in a military context as the captain of the ship, never leaving the bridge, staying there hour after hour, day after day. That is not smart on the part of leaders. And I'll tell you where I really learned that. In my mid-30s, when I was captain of a destroyer, I was coming south through the Suez Canal. And I had been up on the bridge, directing operations, drinking endless, not cups, but pots of black coffee. And I was exhausted after 36 hours on the bridge. But I was tough. I was in my 30s, so I was fit. I was ready to go. And I insisted on staying on the bridge and driving the ship down the Suez Canal. When you go south on the Suez Canal, right about the middle of the canal, effectively you pull off and anchor the ship in a lake so that the northbound traffic can go by. Pretty sensible arrangement. It's kind of orchestrated by Egypt, which owns and operates the Suez Canal. So we pull into this lake. It's called, by the way, it's a great name. It's called the Great Bitter Lake. So we pulled into the Great Bitter Lake and we were hunting for our anchorage. The pilot, who is the Egyptian official who is sent to your ship to advise you, told me, anchor the ship over here. So I'm, kind of maneuvering the ship over there, when behind me, on the bridge, my 25-year-old navigator, Lieutenant Rob Chadwick, piped up and said, "Captain, we're standing into danger. If we anchor over there, we're going to run the ship aground." And I was very tired. I didn't want to hear that. And I said to Rob, that's enough. We've got an Egyptian pilot here. He's an expert in these waters. He's telling us to anchor. We're going to continue to go." And Rob gave me a second warning, and I ignored it a second time. And then Rob Chadwick, a 25-year-old lieutenant, said, "This is the navigator. I have the con," meaning I have control of the ship. "All engines back full." And he backed the ship. Well, technically, that's an act of mutiny. At that point, I was so tired, I couldn't think straight. The pilot was furious, but we backed up a bit. We anchored the ship so we could kind of sort it out. We put a small boat in the water and sent it to the point where the pilot was directing us. We would have run aground. Lieutenant Rob Chadwick was absolutely right, had the courage of his convictions, and saved my career. Pretty extraordinary moment in terms of understanding how exhaustion can take you out of the problem as a leader and make you ineffective. And indeed, I almost, because of my exhaustion, my unwillingness to challenge that pilot, I was just too tired. I would have lost not only my career, who cares ultimately, I would have harmed my ship deeply. I would have failed my Navy and my nation. So exhaustion is a mistake. And there are times when, I get it, you've got to power through, but don't let that become a habit. Find the time to rest yourself. Turn it over to one of your subordinates. Ask a peer to step in and cover. Tell your boss, "I don't think I'm going to give you the best product on Tuesday. I need another day or so." Find the courage to get rest. And by the way, Lieutenant Rob Chadwick, today he's Rear Admiral Rob Chadwick, a very fine officer who taught me a lesson that good leaders are rested.